He got the shit. He didn't have to fucking jump in the air all the goddamn time. He didn't have to fucking. He just had to catch the ball and take off running. Hey guys, welcome back to Watch Your Mouth Podcast. I'm your host, Big Malik El-Amin. I'm here with my co-host T-Rob, my brother from a white mother. How you doing today?
Hey guys, how you doing? Oh man, I'm doing all right. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm even better now that I got this beer. I'm trying to get right. I've been trying to work out a little bit. I haven't been drinking. I show up here and you motherfuckers got the good beer. He had the chilled glass for a motherfucker. How can somebody say no to that?
That's impossible.
You know what I mean?
That's impossible. Yeah.
So yeah, it's turned into a good day. I'm glad to be back. We left off on some crazy shit last week.
Oh man.
Last week. And if you didn't see it though, make sure you check last week's episode. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to us on Spotify and YouTube. Talk shit to us. If you don't like what we're doing, we talk shit. We like that too. And if you like what we doing, holler at us, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let us know, man. I can tell you right now, we're gonna get into these picks, and I was possibly.
We're gonna get into his bullshit. That's what he means.
The committee spoke and said that I was a dumbass. That's pretty much what happened. So yeah, I mean, and we'll get into it here, but you know,
he definitely maybe was a little bit when he was doing a picks, but it all worked out.
That's
you know what I mean?
Every episode, I'm sorry.
He did put some teams in there that wouldn't work out in these spots, but throughout the playoffs, it all worked out. And we did end up picking the same two teams going into the Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the Cowboys. What the fuck? I don't even feel right saying that. I can't believe I did that.
My mouth is dirty.
I do feel dirty.
I need to take a bath.
I need to take a bath, put soap in my mouth. The Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Why did you pick that? I know why. Why did you pick that?
You know, I think it's the year for them. I think they have all of the stars have aligned, and I think at this point, it's make or break for everybody on that staff, everybody on that roster at this point. I mean, after this year, if they don't make it, I don't know when else they can. So.
All of those reasons are the reasons I did. Plus, though, I think it's actually more so on Dak Prescott's shoulders. I think he probably has more pressure on him than any quarterback in the league. Mainly because, like you just said, this is it.
Yeah.
I think if they don't make it at least to the NFC Championship, it's over. And it's gonna be the team is great. The defense is, as long as they got Micah Parsons.
Well, I mean,
that's arguably the greatest football player, not the greatest, but the best football player in the league right now.
But then you're talking about even without Micah Parsons, they've got people like Trayvon Diggs back there that led the league in interceptions. They got. The
team is stacked.
Yeah.
The team is stacked. On paper, if you was to show everybody on that, hey, they got it. So that's why I'm saying it's Dak Prescott. He, in my opinion, and if you disagree with me, again, follow us, talk shit. Even if you do agree, please still tell me why you agree.
Yeah.
I think Dak Prescott has been the single reason why they have not made it further. When it gets down to it, he makes mistakes at the most inopportune time. Yeah. It's almost like I would say Derek Carr. You know, when the stars are aligned, he's on fire, and it's the same thing with Dak Prescott
or Tony Romo.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what it is with the Cowboys. They got lucky. Maybe they got lucky with Troy Aikman and Roger Staubach. That was way back then. But
it was different coaching, different, and those are different quarterbacks that actually excel under pressure. And Dak Prescott, for some reason, does not. And the reason why I picked him is because I think he feels that. And I just, there's something I've never had this feeling before.
And to be quite honest, I'm scared as hell. Like, I think if we were to go up and face that team, especially with a quarterback riding a high like that, finally making it to the Super Bowl, finally, bringing the Cowboys back. I mean, I'm sorry. I
think the Super Bowl is where he breaks.
No, and I agree. We both think that.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to make it to the Super Bowl, but that's where it breaks. Eventually, he's going to, and that's where he's going to break.
I mean, out of all the teams in the NFC, I mean, and we'll recap everything here.
Yeah, we're going to see. We're going to go through all of that.
But out of all the teams in the NFC, that's the only team I'm scared of at this point. I mean, there's just been so much turnover.
Well, what about the Eagles? Are you no longer scared of them? Are they not relevant? And I've been seeing that a lot, even at the break table at work. I'm like, did we forget they were in the Super Bowl? And might I add, played a damn good game. Mm-hmm. Like nothing they should hang their heads about in that Super Bowl.
I think after a Super Bowl, a lot of teams, even the Chiefs, went through this. I mean, even the Patriots, after they did what they did the first go around, and I think that after they come off that high, there's this expectation, and so the teams think, I can let go of these backup pieces, these backup players that didn't really start. We can trade them for some good money or picks, picks or players. Or you can just let them walk in free agency and draft somebody to replace them. And, I think a lot of these teams think they can just do that and go right back to the Super Bowl because they have all their starting players.
And that's what Philly did. Yeah, you're right.
A lot of players go.
You're right.
So I'm not scared. I think if they're 1 injury, 2, 3 injuries away from not.
So you're saying you think Philly just gave away too much this offseason? Yeah. That's pretty much what you're saying.
And again, I still think they're going to finish as the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Sorry, no, I didn't mean to interrupt because I actually kind of did because I want to jump to this because it's been bugging me. One pick I can't believe you fucking did at number 2 in the NFC, the fucking Vikings. What the fuck? They were barely winning games last season. Let me tell you something. They did. I enjoyed watching them last season. I always like watching the underdogs do the damn thing. But listen, they were winning by single digits last year. If I'm correct, I think more than half of their games that they won were by single digits. If I'm wrong, please someone, or hey, our guy in the chair shrunk. He's always there to support us. If I'm wrong on that, bring that up and let me know. But I'm pretty sure more than half of their games that they won were by single digits. They lost Cooks. Mm-hmm. What are they about to do?
I mean, if you've been paying attention, his backup Mattison is pretty good. And
I guess I haven't been paying that much attention. As good as him?
I think he has the opportunity to be pretty good. I don't think I see him being Ahmad Bradshaw kind of situation where with the Giants after what was his name? Can't remember his name, but Ahmad Bradshaw took over for him after he left, and I think Mattison has the opportunity to be a pretty damn good back, not great by any means, but it's not really the offense for me or the running back position for me that matters. When you're looking at this team, they just drafted a wide receiver in the first round. His name's Jordan Addison. I think he's going to be a pretty damn good receiver in the league. And then he already has JJ.
So it sounds like to me, though, you're describing a rebuild. Are they going to be? Is a rebuild in Minnesota?
It's never
going to be good enough to be number 2.
They would have let Kirk Cousins walk. They would have traded him. Or got rid of him.
No, who are you going to get better than Cousins right now? Who are you going to get?
They could have.
I'm not saying he's the best. I'm just saying who are you going to get that's better than him?
They could have traded Kirk Cousins and gotten. They could have gotten anybody.
You got to roll with Cousins.
They could have gotten. They could have gotten Derek Carr this year.
No, Jimmy probably wouldn't have went over there.
I'm just saying, any of these teams, what you're saying right now is, why would they trade? Because he's been good, right? You turn around and you trade him. If they were rebuilding, this is what they would do. They would trade him to one of those teams. The Saints, I feel like, would have traded a good amount of draft picks for in this year's draft. And they drafted pretty high, the Saints did.
So who am I missing in their division, though? Green Bay?
Mm-hmm.
So you're...
That's a backup player. That's Jordan Love.
You know, the Green Bay, they might not be
the other
doing...
team in their division, which I also have listed in the playoffs as is the Bears. So, and that's a good team. I think Justin Fields is going to have.
And are they going to have? Or do you think the Vikings are going to have enough wins though to come in there at number 2?
Yeah, I do. I think they have a well-rounded offense and defense, and that's what you're looking for.
You're making good points.
That's what you're looking for, because you can't just look at what their star power is in the NFL these days, because those players get hurt and you're looking for the next man up mentality. That's why the Chiefs have been.
Yeah, you're right, and that's why Cincinnati's been good. Since we're on that, here's the thing: I'm going to leave off with the NFC. You're right. The Vikings could very well come out at number 2, only because the NFC is actually kind of garbage. To be honest with you, it's really the Eagles and the Cowboys that, if you're going to go to Vegas and put your money down on somebody, that's almost guaranteed is going to be those two. So you're right. It's anybody's game, so the Vikings can very well pull that off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's go to AFC. Let's go ahead and give your picks. Give them quick, because you got some bullshit on there that I've been itching to get to like a motherfucker. Go ahead. Who's the number 1? Number 1.
Right, so
This is the most fucked up one, y'all. Go ahead. Number 1.
I got the Bills at number 1. He's been giving me shit for a full week, guys, and it hurts my heart as a Chiefs fan, but I think they're gonna finish number 1. I think so. I have the Chiefs number 2. We'll go into the rest of it later. I'm going to try and get through this real quick here, all right?
I'm going back. Remember, Bills at 1, because we're going back to that shit.
And then we got number 3. We got the Jaguars now. So, like I said, the committee told me I was dumb as fuck. So I had to go back through and I had to, pick the winners of each division first. And so, yes, that took a team off. We'll get to that later. Number 3, I got the Jaguars. Number 4, I have the Bengals. And then we're sitting at number 5. I got the Dolphins. 6, I have the Jets. And number 7, I have the Chargers.
Okay.
So, yeah, I had to take the Patriots off there and put 4 AFC East teams on my playoff bracket. I mean, it's possible, but not quite.
It's anything, especially over there, mainly because we don't know what the Jets are going to do.
Yep.
We don't know if they're going to end up getting D-Hop. These are, again, way too early picks. But I don't give a fuck how early we're picking these fucking picks. The Bills at number 1 in the AFC? Okay, I get it. We're Chiefs fans. You don't pick. But over Cincinnati? Okay, I get it. You don't pick the Chiefs, right? But over Cincinnati, too?
I got the Bengals at 4. I don't even think they have the highest winning percentage. I think they finish... they'll probably finish 10-7. I mean, they'll probably finish.
What are you seeing that I'm not? That indicates that Cincinnati Bengals are the most consistent team in the league, next to the Chiefs.
I just don't. I think they have a down year. I'm not a big believer. I'm not a big believer in Joe Burrow or Joe Burrow time.
What else does he have to do to make you a believer?
Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow time.
He's got jokes. And y'all know what he said, ladies and gentlemen? Joe Burrow time. I love that, actually. We're going to make that a shirt. We're trademarking it. You heard that here first.
Yeah.
Again, follow us on Spotify. YouTube.
Not often I come up with something catchy. So yeah,
I like that. Joe Burrow time. I think you're being disrespectful, but I still like it though. I love it.
Listen, I think Zach Taylor is not the best head coach in the NFL to lead somebody like Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is gonna flare out real quick, and it could be this season or next.
What else do they have to do to prove to you? Likewise,
do it without Jamar Chase. If he can do it without Jamar Chase,
That's
a different story.
That's crazy. That's like saying, okay, look, Phil Jackson, do it without Michael Jordan, do it without Kobe Bryant, and then we'll call you a great coach.
He's the best.
That's crazy talk.
Young receiver in the NFL, and arguably he could be the top receiver in the NFL.
But he's on the Cincinnati Bengals, right? And so is Joe Burrow,
Sure.
which they are probably the most consistent and dynamic duo next to Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes.
I'm gonna say,
right?
I can't believe you about to say
Right? So with him being on the team, okay, you're saying do it without him. Okay, we can see in the future that, but he's there. He's there.
Okay.
So we can't
All
say
right,
do it without
get
him.
through these. We're almost
How can
done.
you went through all of them? You went to the Chargers.
All right. Well, so you didn't even talk about the Bills. Listen, the Bengals. I think they're going to win their division. I think they're going to go 10-7. But do I think they're going to have any chance in this year's playoffs? No.
The Bills. So that's why we got to the Bills and the Bengals, because you got the Bengals at 4 and you got the Bills at 1.
Right.
And that's why I brought it up, is because for the Bills over the Chiefs, the Bills over the Bengals.
Yeah. Listen, I think, first of all, to be quite honest with you, with over the last couple of years, I think Andy Reid has purposely played out the last few years by not opening the playbook throughout the regular season. He plays out the same formations. He does the same plays. And then when he hits the playoffs, or close to the playoffs, here comes those plays like the snow globe or obviously fucking wasp. I mean, it just all these plays that you wouldn't have seen in the regular season because he's been holding them back. And I think Andy Reid this year, I don't think he wants to go into another number 1 seed. I don't think he wants that first round bye. I think he wants a lot of these unproven young receivers.
You always want the first round bye?
No, but I don't think so. I think he wants to go on a roll. I think he wants to see these wide receivers.
Why wouldn't you want your team to rest and be at home and have home field advantage?
Because that's
the formula. That's how they've been winning.
The first
Kansas City Invitational.
They're playing against the Chargers. And no offense to Chargers fans, they're going to make the playoffs. Cool, great, awesome. Justin Herbert, great, awesome. Is he going to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs? No. And I think that time is when you see the Kadarius Toney or the MVS or the whoever their number 1 receiver is going to be go off, and that's Sky Moore could go off. I mean, it just the list ends, and I could name.
So what about the Bills are going to make them number 1 though? So you're saying let me make sure I'm understanding what you're saying, and if I'm not, explain it more. But you're saying it's not necessarily that the Bills are going to play themselves in the number 1. You're saying that the Chiefs are going to play themselves in the number 2 on purpose?
I mean, if you look at the Bills, right, they're built a lot like the Chiefs. I think they have a really good team. They have a really good coach. They have somebody that's an Andy Reid disciple running that team. I think they have built both of their teams the same way, just not around the same quarterbacks. I think Josh Allen is going to have an MVP year. He could win MVP this year, but he goes into the playoffs and he is going to fall flat on his face.
I think the Bills are right there with Dallas on the subject of this has got to be the year. That's the only reason I think if anything's going to push them to be number 1, it's that. Because let me tell you something. They always get close. Josh Allen puts up those numbers. He's always got 4,000 or better. I think every year since 2001, it's gone down, but not dramatically. I think in 2001, he had like 4,500 yards. The next season, it went down to like 44. The next season, 42. But he's still racking the same average of touchdowns, 34 to 36 touchdowns a season. He's going to continue to do those things. He's going to continue to make it to the playoffs. But he's got this thing, I don't know what it is, the same thing that Dak Prescott has. Although Josh Allen is a better, in my opinion, better quarterback than Dak Prescott. I'm talking about the subject of whatever. I don't know what it is, but something happens when they get deep in them playoffs. Something starts misfiring. I don't know what it is, but all I'm saying is if Buffalo doesn't do it this year, Buffalo has to start thinking about the future, which means they're gonna have to start disbanding some people, trading some people. They're gonna have to get rid of some people just so that they can have money for the future.
Well, and I mean, Von Miller is I don't think he's going to be back after this year.
Well, he's no spring chicken, so if you was gonna bet money on that, that'd be a good bet.
Yeah, and
It depends on the season that they have.
I just think they have overall a very good, well-rounded, and they have good backups. They have, in case somebody goes down with an injury, they have somebody in place that's going to come in and actually produce, just like the Chiefs do. And so, that's, I think, really that's the biggest surprise for me. And here in a second, we're going to go over Malik's surprise pick for me, the Raiders. But before
I was hoping we get to that.
Yeah, but before we do that, we're going to just give a second to our sponsors here.
Hey guys, we can't go any further without giving a shout out to our sponsors, Balance Lawn Care
and Midwest Live.
Hey, you can find Midwest Live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. These guys put on shows all over the Midwest. If you're looking to laugh or look at some live music, give them a shout out. Hey, how can we find Balance Lawn Care?
Yeah, head on over to TopekaLawnCare.com or call 785-691-5296 and get all your lawn care needs taken care of.
Hey, we wouldn't be able to do this show without those guys. So, hey, hit them up if you need any of their services. All right. Welcome back to Watch Your Mouth Podcast. I'm your host, Malik El-Amin, along with my co-host, my brother from a white mother, T-Rob. We were just talking about our football picks. We were just discussing that you had some crazy shit on there. The Bengals at number 1 going into the playoff. These were our way too early playoff picks.
Yeah.
By the way, just predictions. It's still the off season. There's still a lot of trades that can be made.
Yeah.
There's still some players up for grabs. D-Hop, who am I missing?
Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is another player. That's
the two biggest names right there.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's what surprises me the most when you say you have a team like the Raiders on
I'm glad you brought that up. Go on.
Listen, I think you traded down. That's what you did. You traded down. You went from Derek Carr to Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what you did. And
what world are you trading down going from Derek Carr to Jimmy Garoppolo? Has Derek Carr ever been to a divisional championship or the Super Bowl?
No. But has Derek Carr ever had a coach like Kyle Shanahan?
It doesn't. The coaching isn't all of that. It's how many times. Here's the thing. How many times have you seen him? Have you seen the 49ers lose a game because of Jimmy Garoppolo?
How many times? Many times, but that doesn't mean
because of Jimmy Garoppolo.
His name is Garoppolo. If you don't stop naming me ice cream right now.
Sorry, Garoppolo. I can't. He knows who I'm talking about. I told y'all at the beginning of the thing, I don't say words right.
Hey,
y'all still wanted me to do this damn show, so I'm saying
background.
Garoppolo. Yeah, Jimmy G. Let's call that motherfucker that.
Right,
Jimmy G.
All right.
That's that Topeka 501 education. Fuck y'all. Jimmy G. Either way.
He's not. He was hurt. He got hurt last year. That's the reason that the Brock Purdy situation came around. I don't think Jimmy G's going to be able to step in with Josh McDaniels and succeed. You aren't even thinking about what he has around him right now. He has Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs. But
yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Why they're going to be in the playoffs.
But if you look across the rest of the team, the only other player, name me one other player off that team.
Old dude that sells beer in the concession stands. My cousin Tyrone. He's gonna make the
he's Vegas on there, bro.
In Vegas top.
I'm just saying there is the only other player anybody can ever really name is going to be Max Crosby and Chandler Jones.
The Raiders had sparks, and you saw it last season. They've got it's a whole new ball game going over there, and all Jimmy G does is win. How can you say All he does is win. I don't care who he was with. I don't care who. That's just like with Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay. No one said, "Oh, he was with Bill Belichick." All that dude does is win, and he's come from a system that was winning.
Mhm.
He's going to bring that mentality with him. They're going to listen to him. He's going to be a leader on that squad.
We're not supposed to agree on this show, but there's one thing that I just thought of, and I didn't even put this together until we were just sitting here, and I kind of spaced off. I'm sure you guys saw it, but Josh McDaniels and Jimmy Garoppolo were in New England together, weren't they?
Together?
They were. Jimmy Garoppolo was the backup quarterback to Tom Brady.
He was.
And Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator.
At that time?
In New England.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
And
so there we go. I didn't even put that. I didn't even put those lines together. There we go. Connecting dots. Dots.
Listen,
So you're just helping me with my argument. I appreciate that.
Listen, I think they're going to be worse off than the Broncos? No. Do I think they're going to be worse off than pretty much any of the other bottom end teams in the AFC? No. I don't think they're going to be as bad off as I can't even think off the top of my head other than the Broncos right now. But I think. I just don't think the Chargers. I don't think they're going to beat out the Chargers. I like the way that the Chargers went with their head coaching decisions recently. I think they're going to be 3 teams in the AFC. I think the Chargers are going to be there too in the playoffs. The Chargers, the Raiders, and the Chiefs. They're all 3 are going to be in the playoffs. Then you're saying that they're better. That the Raiders. I'm trying to piece together who is the team that you're saying they're better than. What team did you leave off there?
What team did I leave off?
So I got the Bills, Chiefs, Jaguars, Bengals, Dolphins, Jets, Chargers, and then you had the.
So I left New England. I believe.
No, but I don't have the New England.
I mean, I left Denver out of there.
Well, no, I know, but which team that
you picked that you left out of there?
It would have to be the bottom 3 teams because the Chiefs are obviously number 1. So out of the Dolphins, Jets. Did you leave the Jets off?
I think I left the Jets out of there.
Oh, geez, dude. Have you seen what they're looking like right now? The Jets.
I'm looking at their division, and I'm
predictions about the Jets.
And we haven't said a word about Miami.
Oh man, Miami's going to be good.
We haven't said a word about we being disrespectful in this motherfucker.
It all depends on who stays healthy because they've spent so much money on that offense, so much money on these star-studded players that if they don't stay healthy, they're not going to.
But what if they still stay healthy?
And that's the problem.
What's the prediction then?
Yeah. But back to the Jets. Do you realize how star-studded that defense is and that offense? We're talking about Garrett Wilson. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Breece Hall, who was on pace to be the offensive
but Aaron Rodgers been on some bullshit.
A really good offensive line.
He been on some bullshit.
But he was in Green Bay where they weren't surrounding him. They were surrounding him with no good players. They let Devontae Adams lead.
Look at some of that film. It was some of his throws that were off. His decision making's been off.
I agree with you, yeah. But I think the whole reason it was so off is because he wasn't vibing with Matt LaFleur. I think he wanted to go play.
I tell you what, viewers, please, we're gonna make a bet. Please, whatever the bet should be, I'll do whatever. I will whatever. We'll do whatever. Y'all come up with a bet should be.
Yeah.
That
all right.
The Raiders will have a better record and have a better spot in the playoffs than the Jets.
All right.
Are you going to make that bet on that?
Yep.
And then we'll both come up with something. Viewers, if you can think of something on this bet, please put it in. But I think I'm strongly right. I never picked the Raiders to do shit. I never picked the Dallas Cowboys to do shit. And this year I have, which means they're going to do shit.
All right. So I just wanted to, before we go on another
break. Shit.
Before we go on another break here, all right, I wanted to just go down their starting lineup right now, okay? And this is the Jets, right? You got Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, which arguably is probably going to be Corey Davis in here somewhere. But then you have Nicole Hardman. You got Randall Cobb. You got Dwayne Brown at tackle. Laken Tomlinson, who was really good with the Chargers and the 49ers. Elijah Vera Tucker, who they drafted first round last year. Mekhi Becton the year before. They got, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall. They got, I just wanted to name a couple here, but Quentin Jefferson, Carl Lawson.
And these are all players that were there last season.
Nope, Carl Lawson was not.
Most of them were, though. Most of the squad they have there they've had good. So you're telling me that Aaron Rodgers is going to be the deciding factor in that?
Yes,
that's pretty much what you're saying.
They were playing with Sam Darnold.
That's pretty much what you're saying.
And just Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. Who, I mean, come on. They had a great team around them. I just want to finish out here. They got Sauce Gardner, who's an defensive rookie of the year. Don't even mention Garrett Wilson was offensive rookie of the year. And then they got C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams, who re-signed his contract today. And then
and still didn't do shit with all of those guys.
Wilson at quarterback.
With all those guys. Aaron Rodgers ain't about to be the difference maker.
Yes,
I don't care what anybody says. He did what he did because they went and got Jordan Love, and he's like, well, I'm going to go and get 2 MVPs. Mm-hmm. And what has he done since then? Nothing but go backwards.
1 year you're counting it.
You know what, guys? Hit us up. Please hit us up. Spotify. Follow us on YouTube. Hit us up on Facebook again. TikTok. We're going to leave off on something off topic. We're going to start doing that. Something that doesn't involve sports. Something that we've been seeing on the news that's been actually either driving us crazy or making us laugh. And I think this one actually has been making us laugh even more.
Oh, man.
Cocaine in the White House. I don't know if y'all been following that, but they found some blow in the White House. You know it had to be some good shit.
Yeah. No, yeah.
In the White House in D.C.?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Straight from Columbia. Straight. Didn't get chopped. Didn't do nothing. Went straight. VIP. Straight. Cocaine. Where do you think that cocaine came from? What have you been hearing about it?
If you don't think it's Hunter Biden, then I don't know where you're at. I don't know where you're at in this world. I mean, I think it's hilarious, honestly. I mean, if you didn't think White House was in there, or White was in the White House before then, I mean,
White stay in the White House. Like,
I mean, come on, man.
how can you work in the White House and not do cocaine? Is what I'm asking.
Probably
is my whole thing.
Why is it called the White House?
That's probably why. Shit. That's probably why they got their money growing coca leaves in the back.
Yeah, no shit.
Shit. But why do you think it's Hunter Biden? Out of the probably 200 people that work in the White House,
man, listen.
You're just like, it had to be Hunter Biden. It couldn't have been the press secretary. It couldn't have been Joe Biden himself. It couldn't have been Pamela. You don't think Pamela in there doing lines?
I think if you looked in her desk, it probably was in that press secretary's desk, and that's why she. I watched the video, but
so why stay Hunter Biden out of everybody?
So listen. They it's the press, all right. So they went through and they were like every day. It was a new headline about it was the probe for the cocaine at the White House, and it went on for 10 days, and then on day like 8, maybe 7, they were like Hunter Biden was found to be at the White House. Before the
his dad lives there.
Great.
His daddy lives at the fucking White House. Bro, if they found cocaine at my daddy's house, they gonna be like, look, hey, Malik was there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey.
And then
you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people go to my daddy's house.
10 days. So that's what I'm saying.
If 200 people worked at my daddy's house and I showed up and there's cocaine there, I'm all of a sudden.
And you wonder, but they haven't come out and said who it was. Nobody's gotten fired. So
it could have been anybody.
Exactly.
It could have been. It could have been Joe Biden himself. His sleepy ass. That motherfucker needs cocaine. To be honest with you, if it found out that it was Joe Biden's cocaine, that would make me feel better. Because to be honest with you, like I don't fuck with anybody. You know what I mean? I'm not a Biden fan. I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not anybody's fan. To be honest with you, I'm more of a local politician type of person. Those are the people who take care of our roads. Those are the people who take care of our local schools. So when it comes time to vote, if you don't vote, please vote. We try to do we ain't trying to get too political in this whole thing, but voting is super important. But we gonna talk shit on everybody. You know what I mean? Like we ain't picking sides up in here. But I will say, I see Joe Biden up there sleeping in a motherfucker, just nodding off. He remind me of my Uncle Tyrone, just sitting there, just nodding the fuck off, just sleeping shit. You know what I mean? But if anybody was doing cocaine, I would want it to be Joe Biden to wake his sleepy ass up.
I'm just saying they quieted that shit up after it was 8. I would like to know. I don't know the stats on it, but what day it was day 8. It might even have been day 9, and then they were like day 10. All the investigation's over.
But what about Hunter Biden? Is you just like, it's gotta be Hunter? You know that motherfucker keeps the keys.
Are you?
I see. Hunter keeps the keys.
On Hunter Biden.
But what about your homework shows that he's moving weight in the White House?
This dude is a party animal, man. This dude is getting in trouble in foreign countries and doing some stupid ass shit in foreign countries. And then here comes Daddy Biden coming in. Oh no, he's just a kid.
All them people and interns working in the motherfucking White House. Let me tell you something. If Joe Biden is doing cocaine, he ain't stupid enough to bring it up in there. It's up in his apartment, his hotel, wherever it is. Let me tell you something. Somebody went to the bathroom at my own job, bro. I'll go to the bathroom, I'll take a shit, I look down, I'm like, oh shit, it's cocaine on the floor. I'm not looking around like, hey, where the fuck is Hunter Biden had to be in this motherfucker.
You DM like, hey, where you work at?
Yeah, where you work at? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where you work at? I ain't gonna tell y'all where I work at. But people do cocaine.
Yeah.
People that you don't expect do cocaine.
Yeah.
So for anybody to be like, I had to be Hunter Biden, that's all I'm arguing. I ain't saying it wasn't him, but I ain't saying
I'm just saying it was real fishy.
It was him.
It was real fishy.
Everything about the government is fishy.
And then it was over.
Everything about the government is fishy.
And then I get what you're saying. It could be anybody else, but I bet right now they could go back in, and after saying the investigation is closed, they could go back in there and be like, "We're doing a random search, motherfuckers! Surprise! And then it's like, and then there's 30 staffers getting fired in one day because everybody's doing it. I agree. I'm just saying.
My whole thing is they can find anything they want. You know what I'm saying? They can see a cockroach crawling on a cracker in a basement in the Bronx through satellites. And you trying to tell me you can't find out who brought a bag of cocaine up into the White House? So you're all right. That is suspicious. But that just tells me that it was someone they were trying to really hide. It don't tell me it was exactly Hunter Biden. It could have been anybody up in that motherfucker.
I just hope we don't.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm really hoping it was Joe that was doing coke. That makes me feel like someone's looking out for him. Like, hey, Joe, you've been sleepy out there. You need to do this.
You're gonna see this dude in the re-election campaign. He's gonna be in the background holding up a sign. Joe Biden, do coke. And
do coke. Yeah, do coke. Man, I'm over. Wake the fuck up. I don't give a fuck what you meth. Anything to wake you up. Anything. You sleeping, motherfucker.
All right, y'all. Well, I think that's it for us.
That was a great segment. We're going to start tomorrow's our next week's segment. I'm sorry, on some bullshit that you were talking about earlier. That's always on some bullshit. Again, we're getting along way better doing the show than we do off camera.
On our time that we spend with our families, and we're sitting there in the background yelling at each other, about to throw punches. Everyone else thinks.
Yeah, they always think we do, but it's nothing but love because that's how we.
Yes, sir.
That's how we argue.
Yes, sir.
When the other person isn't arguing, that's when we're like, "Hey, what's wrong with you?
What's your problem?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Hey, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, LeBron James. All right, guys. Thanks for watching us again on Watch Your Mouth. Please follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Make sure you hit us up on Spotify and YouTube. Until next week, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Like doing a line of code. Oh, shit. Oh, hey, guys. I didn't see you there. Welcome to another episode of Here, take that, put that away. long week. Hey, what happened? Tell me something interesting happened to you this week.
Oh man, this week, I fucked your mom.
Oh damn! Oh, damn! Oh, fuck! What'd you do this week besides fucking my mom?